Help me welcome Kim Mason.
I'm thrilled to be here today, guys, and I'm going to share with you just a little bit about something that I call Find Your Strength, because I really think that if we dig deep inside of us and we find our strength, we can move mountains here. And those of you that just stood up with newly diagnosed cancer, I was talking with Bambi just yesterday. You have 450 women praying for you right now. So as I start, we have a couple questions. How many of you in here can sing? If you can sing, can you raise your hand? Sing. Would you be willing to get up and sing? How many of you, guys, how many of you can dance? Well, I can dance. How many of you are painters? See, I saw about maybe 20-25% of the hands go up in the room when I asked those questions. The funny thing is, I asked the same thing a couple weeks ago to a different group of people, and in that room, 100% of the hands went up 100% of the time. Do you know what the difference was? They were a group of first graders. And that's the difference between them and between us. Because we lose our belief in ourselves as we get older. In a recent study, 96% of the people who were in the 4 to 7-year-old range when tested at the near genius level when it came to creative abilities and problem solving. That same group, when they're older, it's about 4 to 7% of us that test at that level. We quit believing in ourselves. We quit believing in our dreams. Our dreams are gone. People don't do this business because of one thing and one thing alone, and that one thing is fear. I've been talking to a lot of you throughout the last 2 days, and I can just see it in your eyes. And what you guys got to do is you got to pull this right out of your head and get it right in your heart. And know like you know, you're not going to fail here. If you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew 100% of the time you were going to be successful, what would you do? What would you do with this business? I think you would do a lot more. The longer I live, the more important I realize how important attitude is. It is going to make or break a family, a church, a home, an organization. Attitude is what's going to move the mountains there. It's more important than your past, than education, than circumstances, than failure. It is truly what is going to make you successful here in this business. The remarkable thing about attitude is we have a choice. Each and every day, every moment we do, every step we take, every action we take, we can determine the direction of that attitude. We cannot control what other people are thinking. And we all think we can, but we can't control the actions and reactions of other people. We can only control ourselves. And I realize every single day that life truly is about 10% what happens to you and about 90% how you react to it. Would you agree with me on that? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at doing some of the hard things. There's a handout in your packet there that has these hard things listed, and they're really not hard things when you think about it, but they're the things that we all need to do just to step out. You need to make that call you're afraid to make, and I think Tammy Stanley probably has talked to a group of you guys about that already. That's probably the hardest thing. Jim always says he's a surgeon here in this business. When someone says, what do you do? We're a spine surgeon. We're building backbones. We're an arm surgeon. We're getting rid of that chicken bone. That comes right from Jim. But you got to make those calls. Get up earlier than you want to. And I'll tell you guys, this for me is one of the hardest things for me to do, because I really like to sleep. I'm a morning person. I'm a morning sleeping person. So if you get up, and you can do that if you build this business. You get to be morning sleeping persons if you build this business, because you're not controlled by the clock anymore. But you still do need to get up a little earlier. If you stretch yourself, that's your quiet time, that's your contemplative time, that's your prayer time. That's your time to get your list organized and kind of get the direction of your day going, so you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Feel unsure and insecure when playing it safe seems easier or smarter. This is where you've got to have that grit that we were all learning about from Jerry Thompson, talking about having the grit. You have to go ahead and feel unsure, because this is not something you've done before, but it's okay to embrace that insecurity. Lead when no one else is following. This is probably one of the most critical things that we can do to build our Ambit business. There have been so many instances where people have promoted to a certain level. I can think of several senior consultants, and they were marching forward, and then they turned around and they looked to see who was following them, and there was nobody there. Anybody have that happen? Like there should be more people here with you this weekend, right? So you can quit at that point, or you can turn back around and just keep leading. And if you do, you will have people who are following you. Invest in yourself when no one else is, and that's what you guys are doing right here, right now. You're investing in yourself and in the direction of your future. Grind out the details when it's easier to shrug them off. This is when people are starting to kind of tear you down and quiz you, because you really don't know anything about electricity, right? You don't really have to know anything about electricity to be successful, but just if there's something that you think you need to know, between 11 o'clock at night and 7 o'clock in the morning, figure it out. Those other times you should be out meeting and greeting and living your Ambit life. Make mistakes and don't be afraid of what people think. How many times have you made a phone call and then you hang up the phone and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Did I really just say that? That's okay. That's what we're supposed to do. You have to look like an idiot. You have to try and fail and try again. Those are the people who are successful here. And most importantly, be kind to people who have been cruel to you. Because this is the real world, guys, and we're dealing with real people. It might be your brother, it might be your mother, it might be your sister, but be kind. I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to just go right to this last little video I want to play. As I play this video, I want you guys to think about the women who stood up, and the women who are the cancer survivors, and I want you to take hold of your life right now, today, because we don't know if we have tomorrow.
For the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. I didn't even know what a pancreas was. The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable, and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. It means to try and tell your kids everything. You thought you'd have the next 10 years to tell them in just a few months. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible for your family. It means to say your goodbyes.
Live every day, guys, like it's the last day of your life. Embrace this business. It's the greatest gift from God that we've ever been given. I love all of you guys, and God bless you. Have a wonderful week.